Hey guys, what's up? How you doing? Third time's a charm here. This video is titled What I Love, and in this case, Battlefield. That's exactly what I want to talk about, is the different Battlefield games that I've played over the years, which ones I've enjoyed more than others. So, the gameplay that you see right now is Battlefield 4 on the PC, and this was actually taken just a couple days ago. And actually in this video, I go 44-9, which isn't something super spectacular. I've done much better before, but in this case, near the end, you'll see, pay attention to the chat, I had actually an individual call me out and tell me that I was aimbotting, which I typed, "That's funny," and I thought it was hilarious that somebody thought I was cheating. Nonetheless, hope you enjoyed the gameplay, and let's get into it. Now, originally Battlefield started with, all the way back, as far back as 2002, with Battlefield 1942. I didn't get to play this game. After that, in 2004, you had Battlefield Vietnam. After that, you had Battlefield 2 in 2005, which was some of the first games to introduce online capabilities with the original Xbox, OG Xbox, and I got to play Battlefield 2, primarily the Modern Combat segment, and with Modern Combat, I remember playing that game online, and that was really, other than, you know, Halo, that was really my first introduction and experience with online games with other people, and I loved playing Battlefield 2 Modern Combat. It was a ton of fun. With Battlefield 2, you could, with the campaign, you could switch mid-air if you're parachuting, switch to somebody on a rooftop if they're sniping, and you really could use your team effectively to complete your objective. And I remember playing online and trying to cap a flag, and really just having a ton of fun cooperating with my team. And I think that has ultimately led me to enjoy later installments of Battlefield and even other games such as Call of Duty 4, Call of Duty 3, and other first-person shooters that are online. Moving on, in 2006, you had the introduction of Battlefield 2142. I didn't get to play that game at all. And then in 2008, you had Battlefield Bad Company, the first installation. And I played that one, as I imagine a ton of you did. And that was a lot of fun. I really liked Battlefield Bad Company. It was a new, refreshing face on how to play Battlefield. And the characters that they had in the campaign were funny and really stuck out in my mind after beating the game. 2009, you had Battlefield Heroes, which I had never really heard of. And this one's really, to me, I couldn't take it seriously looking at it now. If you have some kids at home and you don't want them to, you know, get exposed to some of the content sometimes some of these Battlefield games have, whether it's the language or the gore, Battlefield Heroes is probably more of one of the milder Battlefields. Moving on from Battlefield Heroes, we're going to go into Battlefield 1943, and I remember playing this game just a little bit, not a ton, and this game was fun as well, and I played it for a brief period of time, maybe, you know, 10-20 hours, didn't put a whole lot of time into it, but I definitely enjoyed it. Another game that, in the Battlefield franchise that I enjoyed. And moving on from Battlefield 1943, in 2010 you had Battlefield Bad Company 2, which I think was up until this point, what became my favorite Battlefield, especially for the online multiplayer. Battlefield 2, you had the destructible environments, just, you know, a really intense fighting environments with other players, and really the leveling system was one of the most strenuous, should I say. It really took a long time to rank up. I remember, I think I was only level 32, but if you think, oh, you're only level 32, if you were to go back, it takes quite a bit of points and score to really rank up high. So if you came across somebody that was level 100 or something like that, they had put probably a lot of time into Battlefield Bad Company 2 online. And Bad Company 2, up until a later game, which I'll talk about soon, was my favorite Battlefield online, and made probably my top 3 games of online ever, among, you know, Halo 3 and Call of Duty 4. Moving on, we had, going from Bad Company 2, you had the Battlefield Vietnam, you had Battlefield Online, and then in 2011, Battlefield 3 came out. And when Battlefield 3 came out, I really enjoyed the campaign. I know almost instantaneously, everybody loved the online. Even if I even had people who were big Call of Duty fans love playing Battlefield 3 online. I played it for a brief time, and I just could not find myself enjoying it like others could. I think I was in the minority when it came to Battlefield 3 online. It wasn't a bad game. It's just, it wasn't enough. It wasn't worthy enough for me to keep playing. It wouldn't stick with me, so to say, you know. And so I dropped that, the online multiplayer. I didn't play it. And then came along Battlefield 4 in 2013, and I did kind of the reverse. Most people played Battlefield 3, enjoyed it, and then went to Battlefield 4 and either enjoyed it or just didn't enjoy it. I did sort of the reverse, and like I said, I think I was in the minority. I don't know how you guys feel, but I played Battlefield 4, and it instantly became, as broken as it was one of the most broken online multiplayer games launches I have ever seen in a game, ever. Period. And almost everybody can agree with that. It was horrible. And the most, I mean, I was there day one playing it online, going through all the bugs. I could not even connect to a game, let alone stay in a game very long. So it was a horrible mess. I don't know how I stuck with it, but I continued to stick with it. And Battlefield 4 eventually, with the patches and then the DLC and the updates, it has become one of the greatest Battlefield experiences, I think, of any game. And then you had the, Battlefield Hardline a couple years later. And Hardline, I was really expecting something great out of Hardline, and I think a lot of people can agree, and it seemed like a lot of people thought, this was missed potential. Battlefield Hardline could have been something so much better than just the gimmick of cops versus robbers. They tried, I think, too hard to slap basically almost like the Battlefield 3 or 4 concept and just cover it with cops and robbers. And it did not gel well together. One of my biggest griefs was not nearly as many weapons and overall gadgets and things like that in the game. If you look at Battlefield 4, the amount of weapons that you could unlock and use was incredible compared to Battlefield Hardline. In Battlefield Hardline, only certain sides, whether you're robber or cops, could only use certain guns, which to me was a letdown. I think both sides should be able to use both types of guns. Though, I'm sure there are some restrictions. It makes sense to use, like, let's say it makes more sense to use an Uzi for a robber compared to a cop, because cops traditionally don't use Uzis. They may use an M16 though, or an automatic shotgun or something like that, whereas a robber does not. Uses an Uzi or a sawed-off shotgun, things like that, and that's fine. I just don't think they handled the approach and the concept as well as they could have. They could have made it a really awesome game, and to me it was a missed opportunity overall. So looking back, Battlefield 2 Modern Combat was the starting point for my overall, not just my Battlefield experience, but my online experience. Moving on from Bad Company, or to Bad Company 1 and primarily 2, I really enjoyed Bad Company 2, up until that point, Bad Company 2 was my favorite. And then Battlefield 3 came along, wasn't the biggest hit for me like it was for pretty much everybody else in the Battlefield community. Battlefield 4 came along, and a lot of people seem to be disappointed, and I understand the launch was horrible, but in the end, Battlefield 4 became one of my favorite online games of all time. And thus, in turn, I can go back and play Battlefield 3 and enjoy Battlefield 3 because I've learned to play Battlefield better with Battlefield 4 and learn to appreciate it better. For example, Halo 2, you just did not like Halo 2, but you went and you played Halo 3 and you really liked Halo 3. Now granted, Battlefield 4 and 3 are more similar than I think Halo 3 and Halo 2 are, but the point is this: sometimes you need to experience a game later in the series to help you go back and enjoy a previous installment, in my opinion. So try doing that sometimes. You may end up enjoying another game that you didn't at first. I highly recommend you do that. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Did you like any of the Battlefields I talked about? There was quite a few that I didn't get to really play much, especially in the beginning, before Bad Company and Battlefield 3 came around. You had all these other games like Vietnam, Battlefield 1942, 2142, all these other ones, Battlefield Online, Battlefield Play for Free. Didn't play any of these games. But did you? And I want to know what your thoughts were. Are you more of a Call of Duty guy? Like I mentioned, Call of Duty 4, I learned to really enjoy that game. Let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this, why I love, and then insert topic Thanks guys for watching. I really do appreciate your support. You have no idea how much it means to me. I look forward to the next video on this channel, talking with you guys soon. Until next time guys, I'm Third Time's a Charm, bringing you guys everything gaming. When you do YouTube because you love to make certain kinds of content, not because of the views, not because of the money. Do it because you love to do it, no other reason.